Now, this isn't my usual kind of thing, but just after the announcement that King Charles has got cancer, now I don't care what you think of the royal family, I don't care what your politics are, you have your opinions, I have mine, but one thing about it is, he's a human being and I actually know what he will be going through at the moment, because I've got cancer. I say I've got cancer, I have a feeling, and my oncologist has a feeling, that I may be all clear, but the system dictates that you cannot get the all clear for a certain number of years after the operation, and I haven't reached that point yet. But having cancer has pretty much destroyed my life. Not just having cancer, but being an idiot and ignoring it, like most men ignore it. Now, I'm going to be quite graphic here because I want to get it into your heads, men. Don't be an idiot like me, because it will cost you so much. I thought I had something wrong with me for about 12 months before I actually brought this up with the doctor. I ignored it. The signs were there. I ignored it because, unlike women, a woman, if she finds something's wrong with her, will get it sorted. I don't know what it is about men. I don't know whether we're lazy, whether we're cowards. I don't know. Whether we just feel like it's a sign of weakness if we get an illness, I don't know. But I went down that road of ignoring it. Now, I'll tell you something about when you go for tests and you find out you've got cancer. When you already know, when you've got an indication, and you've had an indication for about 12 months that you've got cancer. I brought it up to the doctor sent me for tests. I had the tests. A few people were having a test that day and we were all in cubicles. We had the tests. One by one, they went home and it was me left in a cubicle. And I knew I was on my own. There were no sounds. And I was there for about 20 minutes before a nurse came in, and you could tell by the look on her face, the sympathetic look. And she actually said, the doctor would like to talk to you. We'll just find somewhere a bit quieter. And she led me down all these corridors. And we ended up sitting in a room. And there was the doctor there and the nurse. And they had this sympathetic look. Now, that isn't my idea, because most men can face problems head on. We don't need sympathetic looks, but it was their way, and that's all good. Brilliant. And she actually said, they said, like, we think you've got cancer. I already knew. And then she kind of put her hand on my arm and said, is there anybody you'd like us to call? Would I one of these people? Things like this don't bother me. Death, illnesses and things like that. I can't get bothered about them too much. I've also got chronic heart failure, which I've had 15 years. They gave me 5 years 15 years ago, and I'm still here. All right, my heart's shutting down slowly and I'm finding it more and more difficult. So I'm not going to be around for that long. But it doesn't bother me. Things like that don't bother. So I just said, no, you're all right, love. I've got to go to Asda. I've got to get dog food in and stuff like that. Give us a shout when you need to operate. And that happened very, very quickly. Within a few weeks, I was in hospital. I had an operation. It was 8 hours. Then I had to have a stoma, a colostomy bag. My body rejected that. It was supposed to produce about 400 mils a day. Mine was producing something like 2 litres. I immediately dehydrated. They ended up having to do, and that was supposed to be there for 12 months, they ended up doing a reverse operation about 3 weeks after, when everything was still fresh, another 8-hour operation. Then they sent me home, then I got sepsis, then I ended up in hospital again for another 2 months. I spent about 6 months in hospital altogether. But when I came out, because I'd messed about, it would have been all right. I probably could have got my life together, but it wrecked my insides. So now I live on a diet of rice and chicken. I go out to the house, I have to feel what I feel like in the morning before I go out. If I go for an appointment or I go out for the day, I have to fast for 2 days before I do that. I am in constant pain. For the first 2 years after the operation, it's 4 years since the operation, for the first 2 years, I was in constant pain, like you've no idea. I couldn't eat. What I do know, because we all love food, but I have to live on just rice and chicken, occasionally, because we all love food and I'm so desperate to get food, I will eat a normal diet for one meal, knowing full well that I will be desperately ill for about 2 or 3 days. But the need to eat a tasty meal is so great that I have to eat it. One thing I found I had a tolerance for was alcohol. Not just alcohol, but spirits. Didn't seem to affect me at all. And for the first about 2 years, I drank. Until I and I'm one of those lucky people, if I drink, if I have a drink, I don't drink that much. And I can't at the moment. It seems to be having a reaction just at the moment. But if I'm one of those people, if I think I'm drinking too much, I can just stop. So I just stopped. And now I can't tolerate, I've gone off wine. And wine, I don't know, it's one of those things, it just doesn't do it for me. Beer. So I like the odd gin and tonic. I'll have one a week and hope it doesn't affect me. And that's pretty much what my life's about now. Now, if I'd have gone earlier, things might have been different, but I didn't. I messed about and it's ruined my life. Luck would have it, I'm a cheery chap and I look on the bright side of things, but I can imagine it can destroy your life. And the reason I'm putting this up is because I know people are going to scoff because it's the king and a lot of people don't like the royal family, but please don't say anything like, I hope he's in pain, I hope this happened to him, I hope that happens to him. Unless you've been there, you have not one clue what it does to your body, what it does to your mind, what it does to your heart, what it does to your family. But all this can be negated in most cases of cancer if you will just get up, get out, as soon as you see a symptom, go to the doctor and get it checked out, because as soon as it is detected, it will be sorted. But mine was detected as soon as I had the procedure, the colonoscopy. But it had been there. And the terrible thing about that is, when you have a colonoscopy, you can see it on camera. I was lying there and I could see him, and the nurses and the people who were doing the operation keep a straight face. They don't want anybody to be alarmed. I saw it. I saw a great big cancerous growth sticking out of the side of my body. And they plucked biopsies off it. And I could feel it. There's no pain, but you could actually feel it tugging inside. And I knew. And I kicked myself. So don't. It will ruin your life. It's changed my life so much. I can't do. I've not been to a restaurant now for 5 years. I've not been to a pub for 5 years. I've not been out on an evening for 5 years. I don't go to family gatherings. I haven't been at Christmas with my kids for 5 years. I haven't done anything for 5 years. I go out when I perform, I do my videos. I'm kind of just see how I feel in the morning. I go out, do the video, and I'm back home. And then I might go out again in the afternoon. I try my best to live a normal life, but it's very difficult. I know what I'm having for my tea today. Rice and chicken. Same old, same old. All because I just sat about like an idiot for 12 months, knowing up here what the problem was, but not doing something about it. So don't be stupid like me and don't be an idiot. Any signs at all, go and get yourself checked out, because I can tell you, cancer is not fun. Cancer is horrible. Cancer's destroyed my life. As luck would have it, I was in my mid-60s when I found out. So I've had a great life. But if you get it when you're 40 and they operate and you've messed about, you could have another 40 years living with restrictions that could destroy your life, destroy your family, take a good partner to live with some of the trauma you go through. So don't be an idiot and get yourself sorted. Okay.